The David Pakman Show at davidpakman.com.
A new development in the world of hard drives, and this one is one for the books. Is that funny?
That is kind of funny, yeah.
Why?
Well, because we don't really use books to track things anymore, do we? It's one for Wikipedia.
Well, I'll have you know that an excerpt from a book called On the Origin of Species by Charles Darwin.
I've heard of that. Has
been put into storage one atom at a time on this hard drive, and this is the atomic hard drive. So that's what we're talking about here. A rewritable data storage device capable of packing 500 terabits onto a single square inch. How's that?
That's almost enough to store your Tinder profile.
Yeah. I think there's a character limit on those things. Maybe not. I don't know. I didn't last on Tinder very long. That's enough to store every book written by humans on a surface the size of a postage stamp. So this is developed by Sander Oate, or Ate, or I'm not really sure how to pronounce his name. And,
yeah, I'm sure you're spot on there.
If he or she were here, they'd probably punch me in the face for that attempt. 500 times larger storage density than our current state-of-the-art hard drives, and it's just remarkable how this is being done. However, this is not being done quickly. The data is not written or rewritten quickly. This is in its infancy.
Yeah.
But they did make it work. They placed chlorine atoms on a copper surface, creating a perfect square grid. A hole appears on this grid whenever an atom is missing. And so here you have binary, right? And using the sharp needle of a scanning tunneling microscope, the researchers were able to probe the atoms one by one and even drag individual atoms toward a hole. Here's a quote as Dave punches his mic again. We should just set up a punching bag or something so you can vent without hitting your microphone. The combination of chlorine atoms and supporting copper crystal surface that we found now, combined with the fact that we manipulate, quote, holes, just as in a sliding puzzle, makes for a much more reliable, reproducible, and scalable manipulation technique that can easily be automated.
Right.
It is as if we have invented the atomic scale printing press.
Stunning.
Pretty amazing stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah. My brother just got a new computer. I helped him put it together, and now he's got multiple solid-state hard drives in that thing. I still have yet to build a computer that even has a solid-state hard drive in it.
My laptop has one now. It is amazing that you just hit the power button, and in about 6 or 7 seconds, I'm logging into Windows.
Yeah, it's really not bad. On my next computer, I will incorporate that for sure.
Thank you.
Do you just put your operating system on it, or do you put other things on it?
I don't really have other things. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it has a 128 gig drive, which when formatted is about, 110 gigs or 105 gigs. And the operating system takes up about 55 of those gigs, and that's about it. I mean, I basically use it. I have I have Dropbox, and I use the internet. Almost everything we work on is cloud-based now, so I don't really have anything on it other than GIMP for the occasional picture editing.
You play some games, though, right?
Not on the laptop.
Not on the laptop.
No.
Okay, yeah. Well, I have a lot of stuff on my laptop, and it's pretty old. The majority of it is music. I have a ton of music on there.
There you
go. All right.
These things happen.
It's going to be some time before we've got atomic hard drives in our laptops, though.
Yeah.
And perhaps some other type of technology will make those irrelevant. All right. I stumbled across this article about these kind of, I don't know what you'd call them, kind of hacked games, essentially, for the original Nintendo Entertainment System. Nintendo had a chip in it, and games licensed through Nintendo contained the appropriate key, and so that people were not making crappy, low-quality games and selling them on their own for Nintendo.
Right.
There were ways around this, and one of the companies, or maybe it's just one person, I don't even know, someone found a way around it, and there were these games called Wisdom Tree and some other Christian, this is the name of the company, they made these Christian games.
Right.
completely nonsensical biblical games where I don't even know what you do. There's a GIF here of someone in green with a crown riding a camel jumping around in the desert.
Well, I would imagine you could take the original Mario, and basically Mario is a Christian proselytizer. The Koopas are Jehovah's Witnesses that you're sort of competing for proselytizing time at people's front doors. And the concept of the game is basically, rather than to rescue the princess, you're basically trying to convert people to Christianity. That's how I would do it if I were tasked with converting a Nintendo game into a Christian version of it.
Yes, a lot of conversion happening.
Yeah.
Now this company still produced games that you can buy. You could spend $40 on Super Noah's Ark 3D or Mr. Bloppy Saves the World for SNES, for Super Nintendo.
Much better.
Through their store. But those other games are pretty much gone. However, they just started a Kickstarter to have kind of a standalone console that has a bunch of their original NES games on them, all biblical, of course. The controller is almost a replica of the Nintendo controller, and it seems that there may be some legal issues here.
Sure.
And anyway, there is a Kickstarter for this. They have raised some money. Their goal is about $16,500. And I don't know, I just find this really funny that the games themselves apparently are terrible. And
shocking.
I'm trying to think back to all my years of gaming, and
you don't remember playing any Christian games?
I definitely did not, no, but I'm trying to think of, were there games that had religious significance or were religiously tinged? I mean, if there was a game based off of a movie and that was a theme in the movie, maybe there's an association there. But that wasn't really a thing. But this day and age, in the age of the of Steam and all these game marketplaces, the tools developers and programmers have at their disposal. I mean, anyone can just go make a religious game and get it out there. And what I'm thinking is basically like what you were talking about, except it's a Mormon game, and you go from door to door, just ringing doorbells and interacting with the with people there.
Customers, I
was going to say customers. Interacting with these people, and through dialogue options, you have to try and convince them to become Mormon.
Yeah, no, that would be a hell of a game.
That'd be fun, right?
Yeah, and it doesn't sound that bad.
It could be well done. It could be a fun game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to invest in that though. Okay, Germany seems to be getting tough on autonomous vehicles. They have proposed some legislation that would make it mandatory that all autonomous vehicles also have steering wheels.
Right.
And so this seems like a safety thing, and it doesn't seem to me like this is some lobbying effort by certain auto manufacturers that was successful. It doesn't seem like that to me. I mean, but that's what I would think if it happened here. Certainly, I would think this is Ford and GM trying to block Tesla in some way.
No, I mean, they have now. There's basically two approaches to the autonomous vehicle. One is the one where you remove any steering apparatus altogether, and you could basically have like two seats that face each other, one that faces forward, one that faces back, and you sort of change the paradigm of how these cars are designed. The other one is, well, it's just like a car now. It has a steering wheel, so a driver can take over if need be, and that's it, right? I mean, those are the two approaches.
Yeah, and forgive the noise, but the construction has promptly resumed,
which is very weird
above us. Anyway, it wasn't supposed to yet, right?
No.
15 minutes, yeah. It happened earlier too. Also included in these regulations is a requirement for automakers to include a black box in autonomous vehicles to help determine responsibility in the event of a crash. That seems logical. But I already thought that the computers could kind of do that anyway, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Yeah, and so I don't know if this is going to come to fruition here, but interesting that a country that is one of the world's leading manufacturers of automobiles is being so aggressive here. right?
But not a bad thing, I don't think. At least at this point, I think all of these ideas make sense.
Yeah, I mean, so far, certainly. Believe me, if I were in an autonomous vehicle, I'd rather have a steering wheel as it stands right now, no doubt. Anything to add today, Dave?
Nothing else.
Short one today, but good one.
Please call in tomorrow, though, 1:15 p.m. Eastern, 617-830-4750. We'll take calls, and anybody's welcome to call in.
Yeah, ask us something about something other than politics.
The David Pakman Show at davidpakman.com.